Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to turn NotebookLM into an original copyright-free information product. We're going to start first from looking at Google Trends within your chosen market or niche. Assuming that your chosen niche is leadership, you're going to be able to find which queries people are searching for and which ones are considered to be rising. And then you want to choose one topic that you want to work on. We're then going to use this prompt. We're going to state that our purpose is to create a digital product merging our chosen topic or niche with the trending topic. And for the sake of this video, we have written in the trending topic. And just for the sake of example, we go back to Google Trends and you can see that we have chosen rising query number 6. We may take the same topic and place it inside of the Google Keyword Planner to see keywords that are being searched. Once you're satisfied that you have a good topic, you can write that topic into this prompt and use it along with your specific chosen niche. For the sake of this video, the topic specific to the narrator of this video is in red. The topic chosen through Google Trends is in bold. We want to copy this entire prompt. We want to go to select all and we want to copy it and put it inside of Google Gemini. If you have pro queries available, you want to use them. We're going to use our pro queries. We're going to click enter. Gemini is now going to give us 3 choices. We can take all 3 or any one of those choices and we can head to Project Gutenberg. And for the sake of this video, we're going to choose the one in the middle and we're going to head to Project Gutenberg. You want to find the exact URL, which is gutenberg.org. You then want to go into Project Gutenberg. What we will then do is we will search for the book given to us by Google Gemini, and we will click search. We then have our listing. We will then click on that listing. What we will then do is we will then download the EPUB file, and we will download the EPUB file to our hard drive. Now you do have some other files that you can export to Google Drive. However, the best file to use is going to be the EPUB file, and you want to download it to your hard drive. Then inside of a notebook where you have your proprietary files and you have your proprietary information, you want to upload the EPUB file to this area. We're going to upload the EPUB file, and the EPUB file will then start to generate. Now, the EPUB file will take time for NotebookLM to ingest it. And if you find that the ingestion time is taking too long, you can refresh your screen to make sure that NotebookLM has ingested it. And any other sources that you may have in your Google Drive, you want to grab them. We're going to import our proprietary files. We now have selected our proprietary files, which represent our philosophy in our niche. We also have selected the EPUB file. Now at this point, what you want to do is you want to ask Gemini for a prompt. What you want to do is you want to gear NotebookLM for your specific situation. So what you're seeing here is a prompt that's being used in order to get NotebookLM to take the documents that have been uploaded and to discuss the intersection between public domain book and NotebookLM. So what we're asking Gemini to do here is to give us the prompt to use inside of NotebookLM. We're going to use a pro query for this. We're then going to click submit. So your prompt should be something to the effect of you want to now learn from NotebookLM about your proprietary method and the public domain book and where they come together. And so you're going to use this prompt inside of NotebookLM in order to do it. This is going to give you a higher quality information product and give you the ability to discuss that information product when you are writing copy or discussing it in videos, podcasts, or other marketing content. So we're going to copy this prompt into NotebookLM. We want to make sure that we have the assets that are proprietary and our public domain book highlighted, and that any other assets are not highlighted in this case. You then want to choose your chosen method of learning. For example, if you learn best from a slide deck, you can choose a slide deck. We're going to paste our prompt into the slide deck area. We're then going to choose a detailed deck. You can choose presenter slides if that's where you learn best. For the sake of this video, we're only going to use this one asset, but we're going to use the same prompt we would use if we're going to do an audio overview, a video overview, a mind map, or any of these other assets. We're then going to click Generate. We're then going to let NotebookLM generate our slide deck. Regardless of which immersion method you choose, you should have a way of seeing how the public domain document intersects with your chosen topic. NotebookLM should help you to see the new insights from the public domain versus your existing insights from your business philosophy or from your documents. If you don't see or hear from the studio assets, you can always paste your document into the chat. And as long as you have the right document selected, you can also run the same prompt inside of your chat area. You then want to make sure that your guide is configured. You'll then save it. You'll then run your document. You can then save that document to a note. And then you can take that document and you can export it to Google Docs. So now what you want to do is you want to take the document or the most prevalent insights that you have gained and you want to convert that to a source. So we're going to convert that now to a source. Now what you're going to have to do back in NotebookLM is you're going to have to deselect all of the documents. What you're then going to have to do is you're going to have to reselect only those documents that are proprietary and that you want to use in your synthesis. It's a good idea to use that source and to rename that source so that we know it is based on our learning. We will then have our doc. And basically, we now have a number of assets in the studio area, depending on which way you learn best, that you can experience the intersection between the public domain book and your documents. You can use the video method. You can use the infographic. You can use a slide presentation. You can use the organization of the data table. In many cases, the report that you generate will be the exact same as what you were able to generate with the chat, but you can also use the report that was generated. And if you are an auditory learner, you can listen to the generated audio. And again, we use the same prompt in all of the elements in order to learn from them. You can click on play the audio to play the audio.
Imagine dropping 100 grand. One strategic decision.
Exactly. And NotebookLM has a 1 million token context window.
So basically what you can do here is you can learn from any or all of the methods that you want to learn from for the purposes of creating the information product. So what we now have is the EPUB file, which is our public domain book. We have what we have learned from the intersection between that book and our business philosophy. What's next depends on what kind of experience you want to deliver for the customer. One experience that you can deliver is to share the notebook. You can share that notebook one-to-many by making it anyone with the link. You can give users access to the full notebook, or you can give them access to the chat. And when you give them access to the chat, the customers will not be able to see either your sources. In most cases, that's the experience you will deliver to your customer if you choose to share the notebook as is. Now, before we preview this, it's a good idea to go in and delete your chat. Now, your customer won't be able to see your chat, but when you actually preview it, you will get a true sense of what the customer is going to see. We're going to click on the share button. And again, we're going to share the notebook one-to-many. And again, we're going to click on chat only. We're now going to preview it. So basically, the customer is going to be able to interact with your synthesis here inside of this area. So if you choose to deliver that experience to your customer, what's going to be important is going to be the welcome note. And you're going to have 500 characters where you can explain to the customer exactly how to use the notebook when you pass it on to them. And so they won't have a lot of details in looking at the product. So your framing is going to be important to determine the value for the customer. You can also choose to give the customer access to the full notebook. They will be able to chat, They're also going to be able to see the sources and the notes. In most cases, you don't want to do that because that does not establish the value that you provide by finding the public domain book. And this could be more appropriate as a higher ticket product by restricting it to only those who have access to giving that access to specific people. And so in this case, only a few individuals will have access to the notebook. What you can also do is you can give the individual editor access so that they can then create their own source assets. So what you're saying here to this individual, we've curated some sources. We're going to give you the ability now to create your own assets. Now you will need to give that individual training on how to use the studio. That individual will need to know how to create their own studio assets and what these studio assets will actually do. You can give multiple people access to the entire notebook. And in this case, multiple individuals will then be able to create their own studio assets from the sources you have curated. That means then that everyone will be able to see the assets that are going to be created. And so everything will then depend on how you frame the activity inside of your welcome note. Now, there are other ways to use this content that we have placed inside of the notebook and to deliver it as an information product, and we will cover those methods in additional videos. Okay, so thanks, and I will see you in another video.